In this video, I'm going to share with you how you can invest for your kids. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Darren Hatch. Please subscribe to my channel, hit that like button, and leave me a comment. It really helps the algorithm, and I'd really appreciate it. So let's dive right in. When you first start investing for your kids, the primary thing that you need to figure out is what type of an account you want to use for their investing. Now, there's basically three options. The first one is what you call a 529 plan. A 529 plan is a type of a tax advantage account that you can set up where you can put money in there for your kids and there's tax advantages to it. But that money has to be used specifically for education purposes, right? They have to be a qualified education expense. Now that, if you're set and know that you want your kid to go to college, your kid wants to go to college, then that's a great option for you. But you do need to understand that if the money isn't used for college or for education purposes, then you have to pay income tax on the gains, and then you also have a 10% penalty on that money as you pull it out and you don't use it towards education. So, that's a great plan. There's lots of tax benefits if you are set on that money that you're investing for your kids going straight towards their education. So that's the first option. The second option is opening just what they call a custodial brokerage account or an investment account. You can open this with pretty much any broker, but what that is it actually is an account for your kid, and you're able to invest the money that you put in there into the stock market, and when they turn 18, that account automatically becomes theirs to spend however they want. So there's kind of some downsides to that if you don't want your kid right at 18 to take all the money you've invested and saved for them and go blow it, right? And so the third option is one that I actually use. I think it's one of the better options, but that option is to open just a separate investment account within your brokerage. You can open 4 or 5 or however many you need. I've opened several for my kids. And just set each account up for each kid. Have that account be in your name, but that way you're allocating money directly to their account and they can see how much it's growing, and you can see how much each kid's investment account is growing. Now, what I plan to do in the future, when the time is right and when I feel like my kids are ready to handle that money and whatnot, whether they want to use it for college or for anything, as long as it's something that I feel comfortable that they're not just going to go blow it and put to waste everything that I've done for them, is when they become of age and I feel comfortable, then I'll just add them to the account as an owner on the account, which, when I pass away, then they'll be the owners on that account and so forth. And so that's kind of a back way to do it. I like it because your kid at 18, if they know they have a custodial account legally, they can just take that money and do whatever they want. And then the 529 plan is a good option for education, but if you don't know if your kid's going to go to college, or we don't know what the future holds, because I'm even skeptical whether college education is going to be worth it in the future and whatnot. So those are the three options that you can have to be able to open an investment account and start investing for your kids into the stock market. Now, here's a 3-step plan for you to be able to help your kids, set your kids up for financial success, right? And this is, obviously, if you have the funds, awesome. If you don't have the funds, then you can modify this. But I'm just sharing kind of, what I think is a good plan for people if they have the funds. If you don't have the funds, then adjust it according to what your situation can allow for, right? But let's say when your child's born, you set aside $1,000. Step number 1 is you set aside $1,000 and put it into that investment account for them. Now, what do you invest that money into? You invest it into an index tracking ETF. And that's a topic for another day, but my favorite one is VOO. It tracks the S&P 500, so it gives you own 500 different companies, and it just basically tracks and gives you the return that the S&P 500 or the stock market gives you. So that type of an investment has historically, over the last 40 to 50 years, has averaged around a 10% return. Now, of course, some years it does amazing, some years it drops a ton, but what you care about is the long term and the average, and that's kind of what it's averaged. So that gives you kind of a basis on, what kind of assumptions we can use. So if you get a 10% return on that investment, and then step number 2 is that every single month you're going to take $50 and you're going to put it into that investment account for each one of your children. That's going to total around $600 a year. And then on their birthdays, if you can afford it, obviously, as a birthday gift, give them a $500 for their birthday. And like I say, if you can't afford that and it's 50 bucks or $100, do what you can. It's better to do something than nothing, right? And if you haven't started this and your kid's 9 or 10 years old or however old your kid is, just start now. It's better late than never. So that would be an additional contribution of $1,100 per year into that account. So if you do that till they're 18, they'll have almost $55,000 in that investment account by the time they're 18. Now, if you don't continue to contribute to that account, which obviously your child can or you can, but let's just say you stop at 18, that money by the time they turn 50 is going to be around $1.2 million. And by the time they go to retire, like 65 or so, it's going to be over $4 million because of the compounding effect of investments over time. And so that's how you can invest for your kids and set them up for financial success. I hope you like this video. If you do have any questions, please comment in the comments. I'd love to hear your feedback if you like it, and make sure to hit that like button and turn on the notifications so you don't miss any more of my videos.